What's up, all you organizational outlaws? We've got a quick one for you today. So I want you to take a gander over here at this set of receipts. We got like a PDF with maybe like, 20 receipt scans in it. We're going to right click on this. We're going to go down to quick actions and we are going to click extract image from PDF V3 and watch what happens. A folder is created and then it starts populating each of the pages of the PDF as an individual JPEG. I think it's going to get down to, what did I say, 20, 19 or 20? Oh, it's going faster. Cool. There we go. 19 pages in the PDF and 19 JPEGs exported to LM receipts. We'll press OK. Now, you might be asking, why the hell do I care about that? Which is a fair question. So here's the thing. Depending on your workflow, you may find it a lot more useful to work with individual files than, say, a compiled PDF. For me specifically, if you guys have seen my actualization video, I'd used this exact workflow on this exact folder to extract all of the petty cash receipts from this envelope before I ran my actualization process. Now, that actualization workflow identifies the cost of every receipt almost instantly, but it can't do anything if everything is locked inside one PDF. It needs to be individual files. So if I get a large batch of receipts from a crew member that are all scans and they're in a PDF, I want to extract them and I want to extract them quickly. So this is the workflow that does that with the least amount of friction and time that I have to spend doing it. Because otherwise I would be dragging individual files out of the PDF in there, which I would then need to convert as well. So that's a whole thing. We're not going to do that. We don't want to do that. So this workflow that you guys just saw right here, I built it in Mac shortcuts. I've got a couple workflows built in there that I want to show you guys. So let's go take a look at them. So what we've got right here is the Mac Shortcuts dashboard. Now, I presume most of you guys have played Mario Kart, but if you haven't, there is a certain importance to being able to shave seconds off of a lap. It can be the difference between getting first place and getting second place, provided you don't get hit by a blue shell. But that is what Shortcuts does. It's not going to be saving you hours and hours of time, but it is removing a lot of small navigational decisions that you might make 5, 10, 50 times on a job that, take up 1% of your attention that kind of adds up. So I've got a couple workflows in here. The first one is very basic. It is a create a payroll batch folder. And then we have my extract image from PDF workflow. We'll go back to my 1.0 version so I can kind of show you guys what it used to be and what I recently developed it into. And do not worry, in a link in the description below, I will provide instructions on how to build these on your own machine. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to our payroll folder, which we actually don't have one in here. So let's just create a placeholder payroll folder. Now, whenever you run payroll, you typically need to run payroll in batches across jobs. If it's a one-day job, you might get lucky and you only have to run one batch of payroll. But if you have a job that is extensive and takes place over a lot of prep or a lot of shoot days, or you're working on a feature, you're going to be processing a number of batches of payroll. And so whenever I do that, I want to be able to track all of my batches of payroll in a very organized manner. So really whatever I do, whenever I have to do a batch of payroll, I create a folder. I'll name it batch 123. Then inside it, I want to have an audit invoice folder. I want to have a log folder, and I want to have a time cards folder. That way I have a record of right here what we pay the payroll company, what the actual payroll log and payments and taxes and all the money we spent on it was. And of course, the time cards themselves that I downloaded, is a log of everybody's worked hours. So this is the old way of doing things for me. Now what I do, since we're playing Mario Kart and we're going for the shortcuts here, we're going to go down to our payroll folder. We're going to right click this bad boy. We're going to go down to quick actions where I have the option to create payroll batch folder. We're going to click that. It's going to prompt me for a batch number, to which I will then say 234. I will press enter. It makes the folder, and there's all the subfolders already populated in it. Super basic. I save maybe 10 seconds. But again, it's a lot more keystrokes and just stuff that I don't have to worry about now. And this is the whole point of the shortcut. I have now built this small little workflow that I never have to think about building a payroll batch folder again, except for putting in the batch number itself. You think about it once, you build the shortcut once, and then the decision is gone. So now let me show you guys what it looks like under the hood. We go back to shortcuts and we're going to double click on create payroll batch. And this is the workflow that you will see in the shortcuts app. All these things over here, you've got all of these options and actions that you can basically use to build workflows, kind of like, digital Legos of some kind or another. They have a ton of options. And if you've seen kind of the scripting stuff that I've done in prior videos, scripting, I feel like this is an easier way to kind of do some of those scripting things in a more user-friendly way. So actually what I may do, I may actually try to take some of the scripts that I've built, but then insert those scripts into this. That way I can use the very specific scripting that I've built, but instead of having to go through a terminal app to do it, I can just right click on something and invoke the script from there. So that might be an interesting video to make. So up top, you can see that there is this receive folders input from quick actions. This is basically the activator for it, where if I go into quick actions and click on that, it's like, all right, we're going to run this shortcut. So right here, it says if shortcut input has any value. And what that means is if there is a destination that has been selected. So since I'm calling it from the quick actions menu, it now knows, oh, hey, we're operating into this folder. This is where I need to do whatever this shortcut is telling me to do. So then it runs through the first sequence of the if statements, which is to ask for the text where I enter the payroll batch. And so basically, I already have the default answer set to batch so that all I have to do is just press an arrow over, and then I can just type in the number. I don't have to type out batch every time. And then it will create the folder in the shortcut input, which in this case is going to be the log folder, the audit invoice folder, and the time cards folder. The otherwise setup that I have here is if for some reason I were to run this not through the quick actions menu and I were to like actually come into shortcuts and run it, it would prompt me to then go find whatever folder I need to do. All right, and now we're going to move back to the JPEG from PDF extractor. Let me show you what my first workflow with this actually looked like, because it wasn't as streamlined as it is now. So say, for instance, this one, we had just basically gone down to shortcuts or quick actions, I should say, and we had done V3. Well, with V1, what I originally had to do is I had to click on this. It would prompt me for a window, and then I would actually have to navigate over to the proper file and folder. So I'd have to go from here, into here, over to petty cache, into petty cache envelopes, all the way over to Laura. I would click on this, press open, then it would prompt me again for where I wanted to put the file, because right now it's processing in the background. Then it's like, hey, where do you want to put all these files? And I'm like, all right, I want to put them in here. I open it, and then it does the same thing. But, it doesn't create a subfolder. It just drops it in whatever folder I select for it. We got lucky because it actually opened up in this job. So I only had to navigate like 3 folders. But sometimes, I have jobs where, my folders are like, 7, 8, 9 folders deep in a job, and it drops me at the desktop. So I have to navigate all the way through however many folders to get there. And so I was like, all right, like now that I know a little bit more about scripting, maybe I can build something that's much more efficient. So here's the extract image from V1, which this is everything that is just built with options that are here in shortcuts. And at the time that I was doing it, this got the job done. But now that I understand more about scripts, I was like, I can probably have this do exactly what I want it to do, which is create a subfolder right where that file is and put all of the JPEGs in there. So when I did the V3, what I actually did is I had it run a shell script specifically. So what we have going on here is similar to what we saw before. When it receives the action from the quick actions, it's like, all right, cool, we need to initiate this shortcut. But in this case, what I have it doing is I have it running a shell script. And this is actually invoking something called PDF to PPM. So if you have seen my actualization or my NDA rename video, PDF to PPM is actually a tool within the Poppler suite. So the ones that we used in there was called PDF to text. This one is called PDF to PPM. And what this command does is it allows you to turn PDF pages into images. So effectively, what we were doing in the other one, we are now doing through a very specific command line tool that is also a little bit more powerful, a little bit more robust. And the other thing that it's doing here is I actually have this command that says JPEG-R 300. What it is doing is it is changing the resolution of the image to 300, which is actually the ideal resolution for my actualization and extraction workflow to try and read image receipts. So this thing is actually doing multiple things under the hood. Not only is it extracting images and making them individual files, but it is also refining the resolution so that it makes my workflow as efficient at reading things as possible. It gives it the best chance of understanding what is on that receipt because it's using optical character recognition, which is, it's basically like an eyeball that's like, oh, what does this receipt say? I need to try and make the most out of, whatever this crumpled receipt is. So, and then from there, it passes through to the reveal shell script result, which basically just puts everything into the folder and it shows the alerts that's like, oh, hey, we went through 12 pages in the PDF and we created 12 JPEGs, which is a nice verification for me to be like, all right, cool, it worked. And again, just one more time, because it is just so much fun for me to look at. We'll delete all these. We'll go to LM receipts, click on this, quick actions, extract V3, and it just does it so much quicker. Like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, great, I'm watching this and I'm like, I could be dragging and dropping right now, but I'm not, because Mario Kart is great. So it's great. Now both of these shortcuts live in my quick actions menu, and whenever I need to modify, I just pop into here and make adjustments, and they're ready to go. But that's it. Real quick one today. I'm going to put a link in the descriptions below with instructions that will help you guys build these for yourselves on your own machine. Let me know if you guys have any shortcut workflows that you like. I haven't used shortcuts as much as I feel like I could. And really, after refining this extraction script, I was like, oh, this is giving me some more ideas for ways that I could use this. So if you guys have any ideas, any workflows, any ways that you incorporate shortcuts, sound off in the comments. One final thing worth noting is that in order to use this version 3 of the script with the PDF to PPM, you will have to download the Poppler suite to your computer, which can be done via Homebrew. I will also put those in the description so that you guys can figure out how to install Homebrew via terminal and then install Poppler. They are very quick to do. All you have to do is just copy and paste some stuff into your terminal, press enter, and it will handle the rest for you. And if you've seen some of my prior videos, you may already have those installed, in which case you're likely good to go. There's a slight difference in the code between Apple Silicon versus an Intel Apple. And I'll put that in the notes as well. So again, you can throw this into whatever AI agent that you use, have it help you build it, have it troubleshoot. And that's it for me, guys. Appreciate you watching. We will see you guys on the next one.